Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Grizzlies on the Hunt with Bigfoot, Sightings, and Cryptid, and everything galore. I hope everybody's doing well and surviving the 4th of July weekend. Let's play some Hollywood Squares here. Let's rearrange some people here. Da-da-da-da. And don't forget, you can support us by sending stars, help us earn some money to make more content so we can bring you some more episodes. Yes, let's see here. Hello there, Thomas. Hello, Liana. Hope everybody's doing well. Kelly, we're going to catch you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Chris Hensley saying hello. Thomas, and Rebecca, and not Jackie. Make sure I got that right. I did recover from that last show, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. So, what's going on with you all, ladies and gentlemen? How are y'all doing?
Doing well.
I'm good. How about you guys?
Good. Yeah. After the 2 shows ago, yeah, I got a new pair of britches on. I'm doing a lot better. So, yes.
I missed that. I don't even know what happened on that show.
I had a doll that got ripped out of my hands live on the air.
You had it in your hands and it got ripped out of your hands.
Ripped out. And they had these apps on their phones, Spirit Box apps, and they were communicating with my dolls over in UK. It was just beyond belief, the stuff that went out.
Wow.
I mean, this show, we went past our prime time. I mean, this is how far. Oh, yeah, it was wild. And they were getting a kick out of it. It was not funny. And people were laughing. They're like, we just love to see your expressions. So, yes, I did have to go check my britches. I ain't going to lie. That's why I do not wear whites. You know, my grandmother told me never wear white undies. So, yes. Anyways, yeah, don't want to, Thomas, you got to go back and watch that FDL Paranormal.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to elaborate anything else. I don't want to. Yeah, there we go. Power wash. Yes, I know.
Holy ball.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and watch that one for sure. Though.
Hi, crazy.
Yeah, the crazy witches cut it and cut it out of light. What's happening, crazy rats? Yes. So anyway, so I did not get to go out in the woods to do my session. I was going to with the dolls, but I forgot it was the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got to remember where I live. I live in the country in the woods, and during the show, you hear gunshots.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going out in the woods. No, I do not want to get shot. So I did my session inside.
That's how it was here last night, though. It's so much. I love it. It's so much fun. We have it all up and down the peninsulas. Fireworks. I love them. I'm sorry, people. I know that people hate them and our dog hates them, but I just love it.
Yeah, some people are pretty sensitive about it. I love them. I enjoy them. To me, it's American heritage, so I'm going to keep on enjoying it until they tell me I can't. And then I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
And look, yeehaw, Thomas, really? Yeehaw? Oh, my Lord.
Well, as a matter of fact, here, they toughened up on all their laws, and, you can only do fireworks from like 6:59 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. on July 4th only. Yeah, there were more fireworks this year than I can remember. So woo, go!
Oh yeah,
I live in Florida. There's like no laws. I mean, there are technically. If somebody calls and complains, then the cops will come out and they'll tell you to stop. But then as soon as they leave, then you can just start again.
Yeah, well,
that's pretty much how it goes.
Man, I saw a video on Facebook. You know those mortars, the ones that are about the size of a tennis ball?
Yeah.
Damn guy in Chicago was in the middle of an intersection, a pickup truck. Ooh. I don't know if the guy was drunk, but he opened up his truck door, and I don't know if they were going to fight, but the guy lit it, walked over to it, chucked it inside, and the guy shut the door. And it went off. It blew out his window and the door on his truck. And the guy comes staggering out, and the video cut off. I was like, man, I know that guy was tore up.
Yeah, that was.
So yeah, I mean, I watched that like 20 times. I couldn't help from laughing. I know
you might end up with attempted murder for that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
pretty serious.
Oh man.
Have you ever seen them in Chicago when they had the bottle rocket wars and the Roman candle wars? That is
Yeah, I used to
wild.
do it as kids, but nothing like what you're talking about earlier. Behind before the show started, you were creating cannons with them. I can only imagine that.
hey,
Yeah.
which stays off the air.
We all
Don't
have
come
a
on there.
past. We all have a
Yes.
past.
So yeah, but anyway, so what's going on in the Bigfoot world? And anything new?
Not a
Pretty
lot
quiet.
for
What
me.
about you? It's
I haven't got out in the woods too much. For one, it's about 3,000 degrees outside, and it's been pretty hot. It's been, I think, 97 and feels like 107. Plus, the humidity factor alone is just a killer. So this 4th of July, I stayed inside, but I did a lot of media creation and fun with songs and videos and all that kind of fun stuff. But I'll probably try to get back out there next weekend. A couple of our girls in the group went out, Marie and Ruby. They found a couple interesting tree bends and stuff like that. Nothing super significant, but they did make it out there. But yeah, reporting wise, nothing super special. I did clean up a few sounds for Miss Barb. I don't know if she wants to play those today, but
yeah,
some
sure.
interesting ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Thomas,
yeah.
that sounds like my VFW days. Look, you got me talking here. You got me ranting on myself. But no, I would love to hear the audio. But I got thinking about something, and I actually bounced this off somebody, and I'm not going to mention this person's name. But Thomas, I want to ask you a question, because this will be good for you and Barb to answer this question. So let's stop and think of this hypothetically.
Okay.
All right. You ready for this, Thomas? I need your undivided attention, because this is something serious. So we know what Bigfoot looks like, allegedly. I got one on each shoulder of me, right? Left and right. My right, your left. My left, your right. So we know people have videos of these creatures, monsters, whatever you want to call them. Whatever, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Bigfootery, Littlefoot, whatever. Okay. When they do have pictures of them, they're usually black and fuzzy and blurry. Right? Am I right so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I went back and I was doing a lot of studying, and I don't know. I was just looking at things. And I'm looking at a lot of photographs, Thomas, Barb, and Chris, and all these different Bigfoot groups out here that are public and on these different channels and these other platforms where people said, look, I've allegedly captured a Bigfoot. But as I'm looking at these pictures and videos, it's not the blob squatches that we're accustomed to seeing. So it made me stop and think about something. So I stopped and I was like, okay, so let's stop and think about something. So and then I thought about you, Barb, and about some of your occurrences that you have and some of your photographs, right? Mm-hmm. That I know beyond a reasonable doubt, I do not think they are anything to do with Bigfoot. And the first thing that came to my mind were elementals.
Elementals. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, if people don't know what elementals are, you need to Google it. And they are earth, fire, wind, and water. Mm-hmm. And they are different creatures and beings. And it will explain to you what they are. And they are creatures that are out there in the wilderness. And they have been around since millennia. Beginning of time. Are they interdimensional beings? I don't know. Yeah. But think about that for a second, because if we are seeing these things that are above my shoulders, left and right, these pictures where people think they are allegedly Bigfoot, two things are going to happen. Something that big, 7 to 10 foot tall, let's just say 500 to 800 pounds, just low estimate. There's going to be damage to brush, tree breaks, tracks. But with elementals, we don't see that. So what are people actually seeing? Are we getting confused between the two? So that is the question I'm posing. Or am I looking at this at the wrong angle, or am I thinking too deep into this tunnel? I guess I'm thinking of. What is your all's thoughts?
I want to see if Thomas can answer first before.
I know I'm really throwing myself out there, Thomas, but I mean, stop and think about this.
He is good at probably better insight than me, because I'm relatively new at this, honestly.
So yeah, Crazy Wit says, good question, Grizz. Maybe you're onto something. So even Thomas says, I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah.
Because the more and more I look at people's evidence right now, we know with Barb Shoop's video that Bigfoot can cloak now. But the cloak video that she also had evidence of the hands of the two alleged Sasquatches going through the vegetation running. And she also had tracks in the damaged vegetation.
Yes.
But with other people's pictures that they have in bushes and things peeping out, just like yours low to the ground, Barb, that look like weird, like creatures.
I couldn't see with my
stuff. Yes.
And
so,
and then maybe people do actually refer. And then Rebecca said, my pot Ewok, the little guy had footprints. Yeah, that little baby. But somebody and then is it Laureen said, or I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, can it be maybe something called an elemental Bigfoot? And actually people have called them spirits of the forest, people that think that they are interdimensional. We don't know where we don't.
So I don't know. I'm just tossing that out there because I have been looking at a lot of videos and pictures, and I've sent Chris some AI technology stuff that will just blow your mind, and that I could be right here in my studio in front of 1,000 people and be in UK in front of 10,000 people, and you will not know the difference.
Right.
That's how realistic it is. I mean, I showed you that. I showed that video with you, didn't I, Chris?
Yeah, basically a hologram projection.
I
mean, they have perfected it so well,
incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen. But now, so I know there's going to be fakes and hoaxes, but we're talking about reliable, credible people that we know that's been involved in this Bigfoot realm, Dogman realm. Whatever, but it just seems like I don't know if I'm just digging a hole. I don't know.
No, I think you're definitely onto something. I think that there's obviously I believe in both, and I think there's definitely something to be said for it. Do I think it's definitely not it's not all Bigfoot reports could be explained away, as elementals. Certainly not, but I definitely, if you believe I believe in elementals. And so why wouldn't they go hand in hand? I also feel like if you can start to see certain, things from the spirit realm, then you're going to start to then you're gifted enough to be able to see even more. And maybe even they'll open themselves up to you, if that makes any sense, or you're opening your mind up. I don't know, but I think there's definitely, because I think I don't know. You saw that I'd sent you guys, the little group chat we have with you and Mike and Chris and I, it's one picture that I got from my video camera. I think it was last night. And anyway, it looked like there was a bunch of stuff going on. And I just took a screenshot of it and enhanced it, and that's when I said, I don't know whether to call, what did I say, an exorcist or burn the house down or something, because there was so many little weird faces. Now, I don't know, what was that all about? You know, was it, they can't all be, or can they? You know, they're definitely.
Well, see, and that's the point, and that's the point I'm making. So, Thomas, now we actually have a video of a alleged portal of 2 Sasquatches coming out of it. And you can tell that they're huge and they're dark and they're big and they're bigger than humans. So we are thinking they're Sasquatches. And plus you can see one of them run to the edge of the field about 40 yards, maybe, well, not maybe 40, but less than 40, say 30, and stand towards the tree line during the thunderstorm and kind of sway back and forth. But if you look, and this takes me back to EMF, Derry Bronson, and his encounter in UK about the Woosman, the guy that looks like a tree, not Bigfoot,
right?
But looks like a tree, the Green Man, right? And how many pictures have we seen? It looks like a person that looks like a tree coming out of a bush. Yeah, and people are like, "I got Bigfoot." You know, so it just got me thinking about, crazy witch. Elementals can take a lot of different shapes. Yes, they can. Some can be very small, and a lot of them are able to see with your naked eye, but you can capture with cameras. And same thing with spirits in the paranormal realm. So I just wanted to throw it out there and see and get some feedback.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what, Grizzly, I think that you're very, I think that you're gifted with being able to see this stuff. Certainly things from the spirit realm. The little guys that you said, you know, that you were so happy about that looked like the little Star Wars. What were they? I can never think.
The Yowies.
Yeah. Well, so I had sent you, I found that video and I sent it to you today, and there definitely, you can see things moving, but I realized in the area where you're saying it's happening, these things would have been, they're like 12 inches tall. That's it. They're like a foot tall.
Yeah. Right.
So isn't that weird? Like, and they can't be juvenile Sasquatch. I mean, unless, I don't know.
Well, they look like they're wearing robes. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. So, but I can definitely see movement, you know, and so definitely something to be said for that. And who knows?
So, Rebecca,
go ahead. I was just gonna say that I think you're right. I mean, I think there's some of both. I mean,
I think there's some validity to something. I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it.
If you got a portal on your property like Barb might have, I mean, you probably have all kinds of different things out there.
Well, yeah.
you know what I mean?
That is a possibility. Now, Rebecca made a comment right here. The sightings of large creatures are moving so fast, how we know the details of the creatures? Well, Barb Shoot had people try to debunk her footage, and they didn't know what they had until they put it on a big screen monitor. And somebody back from 2014, it was very savvy tech, and had the software to slow her footage down off her iPhone. And that's where they caught the glimpse of the hands of the alleged Sasquatch. Now, the two people because when we play the video, you hear her go, "Did you see that? What was that? Or what was that? Did you see that?" Yeah. And you saw like a little flash of light, like something walked in front of the sun, like a quick little shadow. And everybody says flash, like a picture, like a lightning flash or something. Something. And we actually got that. Who was that one we show where the portal actually looked like it opened up and those two beings came out? Who was that video?
Jennifer. Jennifer Appleton's video. Yeah, she'll be on tomorrow for part 2. So
her video, you know, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if somebody sent me that video and I didn't know that was hers, I would say, okay, and I would just let it go. But there's some credibility to some of these videos that these people are sending in because they are well known. They're not. And her video, Barb Shoots, has actually tried to been debunked by whoever. over and over and over for years, and they cannot debunk it. And they have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that her iPhone 4 duct taped to her walking stick was not altered in any way, shape, or fashion or
iPod.
way.
Yeah, just like a little right, an iPod, whatever, right? Yeah.
It was an iPod, yeah.
Wow.
iPod Touch or something like that.
Yeah. Something.
Don't ask me why, but I still have my old electronics. And this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. You put it in front of my face. That's what it looks like. That's what
your doll something to play with up there, aren't you?
Don't you talk about that. But that's what she had duct taped to her walking stick.
Yeah, that's just
so. It's just when I go back and I watch these people's evidence that they collect. And I'm like, they think they have Bigfoot, and I want to see Bigfoot. I know what Bigfoot looks like. But we all seen blob squabs. We all seen blurry, pixelated pictures. But we also see pictures like what you have, Barb, that has nowhere near what Sasquatch looks like. And I don't think they are Sasquatches. I think they're elementals.
Yeah.
I think people are just put them in the wrong categories.
Yeah.
And that's just this is my theory. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
I agree with you. I definitely want to go back to what Angel of Light. Could you put that back? Because I want to go over that. Is it Sylphie? This is the air elemental. This is as close as you would come. Yeah, to that one. Let's just talk about that, and then I want to talk about my situation. Okay, so is it anybody know Sylphie is the air elemental. This is as close as you would come to picture something that looks like Tinkerbell or Pixie. Note of Pixie and a fairy are different. So can you explain what's the difference? Do you guys know? I don't know what the difference between a fairy and a pixie are.
So pixie
got dust.
Angel, right, will actually leave a trail like Pixie does.
Oh, I have her. Okay. All right. Yeah.
La Bright explained that, remember? And that's a fairy does not. A fairy will be bigger and brighter.
Okay.
So, in a fairy, you can actually see the wings and the legs. And every time I've ever seen a fairy, it's always the wings and the legs. Okay. And it looks like an orb, but it's bigger and brighter until it gets in front of the camera. And you're like, what the hell?
Yes,
people still talk about that to this day, and people are still going back and watching that video with Lala and Bob on it. So Angel Light says salamander traditionally, or a dragon for more facial, take on some kind of perspective associated with the element of fire. So this is where we talk about the different elements of wind, earth, or fire, water, wind, or whatever. So the elements.
Yeah.
And then we had Scarborough, where he had, I don't know what you call them, not the dwarves, but the little gnomes that we sitting at the base of the tree, and he heard. Oh,
yes.
And the guy comes out and looks out the tree, and he looks up, and the guy looks down, and he's like, and he's like, you can see me? And he's like, well, yeah, I can see you. But I mean, they're not talking to each other. And then he runs back, and you can hear him down inside the tree, and he looks at the tree, and there's no hole in the tree. So, we had him on the show. Now, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Angel of Light.
That's the one with the portal on the wall, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they got mad, where he kicked the ball in, and he was like, so yes. The gnome, small divinum creature, sometimes gnomes. See, gnomes confused, associated with goblins and trolls, mostly depends on the culture. So maybe we are on the right path.
Yeah,
I don't know, ladies and gentlemen.
I definitely think that I have some of gnomes too. That I've caught in some pictures, definitely. There's a friend of mine that lives pretty close to me. And she was telling me about a month ago about all the different type of elementals that are here on this, on this peninsula that I live on.
See?
Yep. And we had talked about it before, but I just it's not that I didn't believe it, just once you start to get it on film. And I think that, I know that there's definitely Sasquatch also because like you said, if you're going to see depressions, you're going to see footprints, you're going to have physical evidence, which I have that also. But certainly it all can't be attributed to Sasquatch either. And I don't know, unless it's something with Sasquatch and being, I don't know, the interdimensional. I don't know, but I think that an elemental that would be a more, I don't want to say reasonable explanation, but I can see that.
Well, here's the way I've been looking at it. So I have been not only looking at people's evidence and what they have been gathering, I've also been compiling data. And I don't know if Val triggered something in with my background in law enforcement, but, all right. So I'm going back and I'm looking at, okay, everybody I ever interviewed and talked about, and everybody that goes out and does investigations and stuff, they also encounter other things that they cannot explain by being out in the woods. So if you stop and think about that, if I'm not saying, I know Bigfoot's flesh and blood. We know it can bleed, and we know it can be killed. We know that for a fact, ladies and gentlemen. It's already happened and has been done. So, but if that exists, and if you are on a trail, whether it's a Dogman or a Bigfoot or a Cryptid, and you are trailing something in the snow or out in the country like where I am, where they do corn and soybeans and they till up the 40 or 100 acres in a plot, and you walk out there and you follow the tracks and they just stop, what the hell happened? Did something beam them up, Scotty? Or did a portal open? So that opens up something else. So now, if it's not UFO related, which I have no idea, because people say, hey, I see orbs before UFO, after UFO, Bigfoot before or after UFO, during, we hear it all.
Yeah.
So, but if we're
hard to ignore all that information. You can't just leave it out, right?
Right.
It's good to take all that kind of data and compile it together.
But is it possible that if we are seeing Bigfoot encounters somewhere in the vicinity, because is it not what we've heard, people that see Bigfoot also encounter Dogman somewhere along the lines in the same area, right? So is it possible or plausible that there is maybe an interdimensional portal somewhere? Because everybody that we ever talk to that we bring on the show says, oh, yeah, those portals will exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got them.
Our U.S. government's actually admitted the fact that portals exist by NASA.
Nobody wanted to believe black holes exist. Wormholes existed,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, guys, because, this has been eating away at me. I didn't sleep at all last night. I still haven't been to bed.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I haven't, because of the dolls and this and everything, thinking about everything. Because it's my mind's been racing about it, because I go back and I've been watching everybody's videos and stuff, and I'm going to go back, look at Barb's stuff. And I go back and look at Barb shoots, her stuff. And I go back and look at other people's stuff from last year. And I'm thinking, these pictures and the pictures behind me, left and right, don't look like the same ones that people are claiming are Bigfoot. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying they don't look the same. Yeah. I'm used to seeing blob squatches or big fuzzy black things that are just pixelated. But we are seeing small little creatures that are popping out of bushes at the bottom of the trees, poking out.
Yeah.
That are not 9, 6, 8, 10 feet tall, 500, 600, 700 pounds. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, Bigfoot can exist and other things can too, right? Can't just throw it out.
Right. Exactly.
So Angel Light says you're confusing different myths and legends and traditions and cultures in different time periods with each other. Gnomes are not nice creatures. So Angel Light. So what I'm saying is every time that I draw the line in the sand, I have to erase that line and move it forward. So at this point, and I said this, I think 6-7 months ago, I don't even put a line down anymore, because people that are bringing forth evidence and what they have collected out in the field is, you know, when you have 200 people tell you the same story across the United States, something's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, and when I talked to Ron Moorhead about this at the beginning of earlier this year, before I moved locations, you know, especially about his book, Angel, it was very deep, because even he said that he would laugh if about the topic, about thinking about elementals and other beings and so forth. We talked to a guy the other night, didn't we, Chris, that believes it's just a primate. It's a and that's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a little more than that. That's just my opinion. After what we've been told and what we encountered by who we've been interviewing and what people has brought to us. Good night, Kelly. Hope you sleep tight, and hopefully the butt bears do not bite you, or my dogs. I said dogs. Don't bite you. But you know, I'm just throwing it out there. That's, you know, food for thought. You know, I'm not saying I'm right. You know, just think about it.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out what my friend had, exactly what she said to me about it, but we have just been talking about many other things. Sorry. But you know, I asked her a while back about whether she thought that the thing in the tree, which I call him Tree Man, and this is, we were talking with my gosh, we were talking on the show. Trying to think which one it was. Anyway, with the guy from the UK, okay, with Derry, and about the Tree Man, right? That we were just talking about, Woodwose. And I think that one of the first things that I saw with my eyes was this thing, this Green Man. Because, oh wow, Angel has a lot, but because it definitely looked like its skin was made out of like tree bark, you know. And I got a pretty good picture of that too. So anyway, that's she had confirmed that there were green men elementals here on the peninsula. So
Angel Light, what I'm referring to is, see the thing over there, over here, right there where I'm covering up with my hand? That's the picture I'm talking about. We see that fuzzy. We know that's supposed to be a Bigfoot, right? Sasquatch. That's what we see pixelated. You know, coming out of the bush, coming around the tree, going up a mountain, whatnot. What we are seeing are things that don't look like that in people's pictures. We are seeing things that, like what Barb's just saying, that looks like it has bark on it, that looks like it has leaves as skin, that are 2-3 feet tall, maybe, if that, that are animal looking, not primate looking or Sasquatch looking, that we are accustomed to thinking they look like. You know, because of what when I'm trying to make a point, and is, if something this big over here to this shoulder is that big, say, let's just say 7 foot tall, is in a bush, we know it's going to break branches, and it's going to, the weight of it's going to leave tracks. But these things that people are taking pictures of, they can't see with their naked eye. Now we know that Bigfoot with their hair, Chris, let me not cover Chris up. Sorry, Chris.
No,
you look awful like that. But Chris, talk about the hair on Sasquatch, alleged Sasquatch hair.
No, we know Sasquatch hair is basically, like, a human hair is pretty much straight, almost cylinder like. A Sasquatch hair almost looks like it has scales on it. It has a total different look to it. It's got the Mandela line that is in human hair, doesn't exist in Bigfoot hair, and it's clear. it's quite often clear, but you see Bigfoot and Sasquatch is usually, as you mentioned, brownish, reddish. There are reports of some reddish hair, but does that hair being scaly and clear, does it have some kind of other kind of properties to it that make it where you can't see it? I mean, that's a question mark that's out there right now. And I personally think that the government has interest in it because of that.
And the best way, Angel, to talk about or to express that is like a polar bear. What? And we use this as a prime example. The polar bear. What color is a polar bear? It's not white. And we can Google that and we talk about polar bear hair and how it reflects light and so forth. You're talking about the Pennsylvania applewhits, the diminutive Bigfoot between 1 to 3 feet tall. Put up articles for you. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It's just food for thought. Camo Plus, Chris. Yeah. We know they're very good on camouflaging themselves, blending in. But I've never seen.
Look at the octopuses and squid that can change
right.
like multiple colors. I mean, we can't just assume that there aren't other things out there that can do this. And then Grizzly, I agree with you. I mean, there's tons of Bigfoot sites out there, and of course, they're all geared around Bigfoot, and some of them have the cryptid mentality, but we're seeing a lot more stuff out there than just Bigfoot. I think it's interesting. And I don't know if people are really gearing their minds towards it or they're starting to open it up a little bit more towards that, which I think that's the case. But yeah, it's good to bring that to light more. You know what I mean?
But the problem, is, Chris and Barb, and this is what really aggravates the firing, is that we bring something like this to light and then the technology that's out there where people can fabricate stuff.
Yeah.
And that just bothers me so much because then once again, it goes, there's another fake. There's another blob squatch. It's pixelated, right? Polar bear hair is clear, not white. Thank you. The sun makes it look white. That is correct, Lauren.
Yeah.
And this is what Chris is talking about because a lot of people, that actually a couple of years ago during one of my interviews, somebody told me that. I was like, they asked me what color is a polar bear. I'm like, are you really going to ask me that on my show and try to punk me out? I'm like, I tell you, really, it's white. They're like, wrong. I'm like, what?
Yeah. The skin is actually darker, like a black color, and the hair is the clear, which reflects back the white color. So it looks like white, but underneath it's not.
Right. So I had to Google and fact check that, and I was like, wow. So, and then, when people were saying that they were getting this hair out there in the field and put it underneath the microscope, and the reaction they were getting, they were like, do what? And the scientists were like, well, I don't know. Well, what do you mean you don't know? They're like, well, this is different. Well, I know it's different, but what is it? They're like, well, I don't know. So, I mean, that, kind of threw some things in the wrenches, so just food for thought. That's all. So, but I'm going to play this video here that I was talking about real quick. And now, of course, watch, I can't find it. Why is it every time I go to play a video, I send Chris?
Which one was
it? The real by. I want that one, not the license plate one. The one where here it is. I got it. All right, stand by. I want to show you that this is what's ruined. What I think. This is how good technology, and I tell you how good technology is. We are way far surpassed this right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to share this because this video's old. So let me hit one more button and hit audio, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Check this out.
I've always found most exciting about the hologram of.
Are you serious?
Illusion industry is the ability to beam anybody from anywhere to anywhere. in real time. So what we decided to do was
Every time.
Every time.
hologram stage apparatus from.
Let me see here. We are going to play this video.
Big arena stage pieces into what you see right.
Let me see if I can.
It's pretty short, so it won't take much longer. He's
It's
about
the size of a vending machine. It fits in the corner of a room, and it beams in a 4K resolution image.
Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to see this one little part real quick. I don't know why I got enough RAM and memory to do all this.
You can.
Wow.
Might be a video card or the internet itself. Almost there. He's right there.
Yeah, he is, right?
Yeah, as soon as he walks into
Create. You can beam anybody from anywhere.
Look how real that guy is on the left.
Amazing.
To anywhere in real time. And when you're looking into the camera, you're looking into your audience's.
So the box has got a camera on the front so he can see the people looking back. It's for like presenting.
So if you're an educator, or if you're a politician, or if you're an inspirational speaker or a religious leader, you can.
Is that not crazy?
Safety and security of your own campaign headquarters, or from your own judges' chambers, or wherever you are, into anywhere that you need to be in real time. So I can distribute portal hologram machines to any country in the world, and in real time you could beam from wherever you are into as many places at the exact same time. Each portal has an audience-facing camera, so that when you beam in front of audiences around the world, the camera sees the audiences. So I'm here with you right now. However, if I wasn't, I would still be able to see you.
Check this out.
I mean, is that not crazy, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, that's crazy. The AI can eventually use that and deep fake right off of that one day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Deep fake the president or something. Who knows? I mean, we've already seen that anyway.
So so we know this technology does exist. We know that on that one show that I do every Thursday, the Wake Nation, when that guy played the whales that were flying in the air and asked me what would I do if I saw that, I would fall on my knees and pray to God and thought the world was coming to an end. Because people were stopping, walking down the sidewalk, like, what the hell's going on? And they were filming it. Because they were having whales coming out of the water fountain, real life looking whales. Sperm whales or humpback?
I think humpback. I believe.
Yeah. And they were just flying in the air.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell if they were fake.
And there's helicopters in the background. I mean, the whole scene looked really cool and really real. And it's amazing what they can generate now.
Yeah.
And that's, to your point, unless you know somebody or somebody sees something with their own physical eyes anymore, you can't assume anything you see on the internet is real at all. You almost have to have a connection.
Unless you have that connection. And that's the problem now. So
yeah, there was a video of it was the similar projection of whales and I believe they were orca and humpback, and they were projecting them into a school auditorium during like an assembly. And now this is, you're seeing this all around. It's not like you're looking at a projector or a stage or whatever, every single, how do they even do that? The kids, because then they were showing it from different views, one side of the auditorium, the other side of the auditorium, the front, the back, showing different angles. How it's just
if you go to AI like just the one I was playing with, but they've got video ones now too, so you can take and upload different videos of those different angles and then tell it to generate something like that, and it'll put it into each of those separate videos. And so it's very, very crazy what they're coming up with now.
Mhm.
And that's the scary part, right? I mean, you
It
really don't
is.
know
It
what's real.
really is. So, and it goes back to the point where, so when I go out in the woods and I do my stuff, and the people that don't know me, and I take pictures of tree bends or tree structures or whatever I may capture, they're going to be like, right? And the people that may actually, just like the one guy we had on our show, well, if they live on their property like they say and they interact like they do and have conversations and they feed them, show me a picture. And we're like, good question. Well, they don't want to disrespect them, but show me a picture. Show me. I want to see it. So it's like, well, but on the other hand, I have seen pictures and, last year it looks like they came out on National Geographic magazine. They're like, don't share it. We don't want nobody to see what they look like. And I'm like, no. And it's like, this is too good to be real. They're like, we just want you to know that they've been on their property for 3 generations. And we know that this is their land, this is our land, and we don't, and this is it. And how many times have we heard that? So
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
And I can certainly see people being protective of, of the clans that are on their property, because once you, make something, get something out there to the general public and open it up for them. Oh, sure, everybody, come on and see. Oh, it'll be like a madhouse. It'll be crazy. So they don't want.
Again, just even if they're there, doesn't mean you see them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you see it, you see evidence of it. They're not always going to show you.
Right.
You might catch a glimpse, and then just like anything else, it's less than 5 seconds, as I think Mike Fairmont said the other night. That it takes 5 seconds to the average sighting is 5 seconds or less. It's going to take me 10 seconds to get my camera out.
Yep.
Get it out of my pocket, get it up, and then it's gone. I mean, and by the time I actually think about it, it's definitely gone and over.
And then
you're like, holy crap,
scared, right? Like if you're scared, you're, and then because that really, when I saw somebody making fun of, oh, look at this is Bigfoot, people that encounter Bigfoot, and he had like the camera and he was like, it's like, well, you know what? If you ever see Bigfoot, I want to see how you react, dude, because, you're going to be like worked up. You're probably going to be shaking unless you have, I don't know, nerves of steel or whatever, but
you'd be shaking if it's a bear, let alone a Bigfoot.
Well, true.
Right? I mean,
right,
you got to think about it. You're looking at something that can possibly just knock your head right off if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Right. There was somebody that I was, I don't know, I forget if it was a podcast that I was watching. Maybe was it one of yours, Grizzly? Well, I don't know. Anyway, it was a hunter that was saying that he hunted at one time, but he said he doesn't know how to go back out into the woods because he's so afraid of what he saw. A lifelong hunter, and now I think he said 5 or 6 years he hasn't been able to bring himself to go back out at all.
There's a lot of people that happens to.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
That's like there's something to be said for that. I think that's
primal fear. I mean, you meet primal fear, and it's a whole different ball game. If something scares the living hell out of you, and you got, just like a tiger can growl so loud, they've got the infrasound. It's got a rumble, so it can literally just scare the living hell out of you, and that's the same thing Bigfoot can do.
Yeah.
I think they have to hit you with a sound or an energy. Like a lot of people get zapped, but they can literally growl so deep that you're just going to leave and not want to ever come back. Pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, because the huff that I heard and felt when I was, I guess, zapped, you'd call it. Definitely Just something that's, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just going back through the comments. Yeah, Ernie Pack said Sasquatch is way more than just an undiscovered primate. That's absolutely right. People try to hunt them like they're looking for a dumb animal. They are highly evolved beings capable of far more than even the most advanced animal, humans. Yeah,
and this is why they won't catch them.
Yeah,
because they come with that technology that they're gonna hunt an animal and find an animal. Just it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and talk about talk about being dangerous. When Russell Easterbrooks told us last week about when was it Davy Crockett or Daniel Boone that had shot one and cut it open?
Daniel Boone, I believe.
Daniel Boone, yeah.
And what he found, that chest plate. And that makes perfect sense that if they have this, this almost like a bulletproof, right, chest plate, their anatomy just has that built right in. It's going to be difficult to
and apparently they have two hearts.
Yep. Yeah. So that makes sense also. Yeah. So wouldn't be. And then if you shoot at one, how many are there standing around that are going to come out?
Whoa. Oh, you're just going to piss it off. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hit a hog in the wrong spot and piss it off, and you're in trouble. Let alone something, 10 times the size.
Yeah.
Or more.
Right.
Yeah, standing stones. Randall, wasn't it, Chris?
Yes, Randy.
Randy, the one that was got attacked by a juvenile when he was a child, and it damn near killed him. The family and the neighbors, it broke into the neighbor's house, the bathroom, and it went down the hall, and the father of the family shot the juvenile, I think once or twice, and they tracked it to the field, and they brought the body back, and they cut it open and performed an autopsy on a picnic table. And not only did they do that, they actually took pictures of it, and the kids took the pictures to school for show and tell, and all hell broke loose. And his YouTube channel was shut down. He's been almost trying to be erased from platforms now.
Three-letter agency showed up.
Yes, with Indian tribes. We still have a copy of his interview. So very wild, very wild. So yeah, but they were very surprised that they actually found two hearts. They were astonished. And that's where they said that's probably why they were so fast and so in shape, and how they can run so fast and travel so far. And I don't know. So
that story went on for a couple summers, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, everything was fine until he beat at his chest and acted like a gorilla, and it just set that juvenile off. So
there were so many stories that were like offshoot stories that I wanted to hear. We should probably try to get Randy back on if we could ever do that. But yeah, that was very, very interesting. Very interesting stories.
Yeah, definitely.
So Thomas, everyone that I ever interviewed, I'm not going to mention their names unless they want to come back and tell their stories that I actually shot one. First time you hit one, usually they're dealing with 3 to 5 automatically out of nowhere. And it's never one by itself. So you're dealing with more than usually 3 plus, not the one that you're actually encountering at that time.
Unless you come across a drifter, but those aren't as common as I think the clans are.
So yeah,
and then so many have human faces, or eyes that are just they're just too human looking. So people that'll put their scope up and then go, whoa, wait, that's that. I feel like
they don't even feel right pulling the trigger because they feel like they're shooting a person.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you don't know if it's somebody in a gorilla suit, right?
Right.
You have to question everything at that point in time. You're like, what is going on? I've heard that story a few times too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like what'd you say, Grizzly, about little Jimmy running around?
Yeah,
drunk in the
an ape suit causing havoc in hell. Yes, we know that happens.
Woo, good night, crazy witch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
Good
wow.
night. But it's just so and Thomas, they now in the Appalachian here, you're not too far from where I live, especially when I lived in Lexington. They called it wild man. And a lot of people would tell me when I lived in Lexington, it looks like the people from the movie The Hills Have Eyes. So, but they were just bigger, and and that once again crossbreeding and so forth, and that's where you get the tracks where the toes are not formed right and deformed and so
Now
forth,
you can
and
say the
missing
yeehaw.
digits. And there you go. Now say, there you go. Good point. So, but I mean, it's wild. So,
It's like Wrong Turn. That was a crazy movie, right?
But I don't know, because I mean, and how many hunters have we run across where they're up in a deer stand and their deer stand gets shaken? They drop a deer, and next thing you know, Bigfoot just comes out, picks it up, looks at him, puts it on the shoulder, and just walks off. And like,
So, thank you.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, feral people. Yes, that is correct. We know feral people do actually live in Appalachia. That is correct. That is true. Still to this day, with no power. That is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
that doesn't mean they're like feral, like walk around and eat people or anything like that. They live on the wild. They can. I actually have my mother's cousin, like a second cousin or something like that, way off in the distance. The family live in the hills of Kentucky and completely off the grid, 100%. And my mom stayed with them about a week, and she said it was the craziest thing ever. she just is kind of blown away by it, but it's got to be a different life for sure when you think about it.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, how you doing? Welcome to the show, Ken.
That is a great point. Yep. Have there been more sightings since the energy vibrations have changed? Yep. Our DNA apparently has changed. Maybe theirs have too. We can see them more clearly now. And I think it's ours. I don't know. And if they're vibrations, or maybe they lower them to match ours or something, I'm not sure, but I think there's definitely something to be said for that and everything else that's going on in the world.
I think it's both. Some people have that ability to see, and then there's they also pick and choose people. They don't even like certain people. They'll target people and consider them somebody they don't like. So I don't know if that's the negative energies or vibrations for that person gives off, kind of like a dog. The dog can sense people, good and bad. They don't like you. Some dogs will not warm up to you. They just have something about it, and it's got to be the same thing for them. They sense that stuff.
And how many times we heard people say, they sense you, they fill you up, they scan you, so they know your intentions. So, Greg Yost is a good example. He calls them forest people. He'll clap his hands, forest people, I'm here, my fellow, whatever he says. And he talks to them before he goes in the woods. And they interact with them. And it's like, it works for him. I mean, I don't know, but it does. So,
there's so many people.
Well, you're not going to walk in there and sneak in on them, and you would knock and make calls all the time. You look like probably an idiot to them.
That's what the Cherokee tribe told us and Val. We ignorant white men.
Mm-hmm.
We act like fools dressed in camo.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even bother dressing in camo. I'll walk out with a shirt like this when I'm out in the woods. What's the point? I mean, you're walking in. You got to look at it like, imagine you're the lights out in your house. You're at bed, but and the thermostat kicks on. If somebody walks past a grill and the air's blowing, and you can just hear that little difference in sound. I mean, you hear any creaking or that floorboard that's loose, somebody's going to walk by. If you're walking in their area, you're walking in their living room. They know you're there. You're not going to sneak up on them. It's just stupid. It really is. I think it's silly when people do all that stuff. Talk to them. Yeah, that's probably the smartest thing you can do, right? Hey, we're here.
I do. That's what I do.
How you doing? You know, we talk to them. We
Yes,
do. We
I
talk to
do.
them.
Like, may I come into now that I know that that's their home, and I know that there's areas that there's, like I'm not even going to go in until the winter to this one area because I think that that's more their like the birthing area where they have kids.
Yeah.
And Grizzly, when we were talking to wait, who were we talking? Was it Jennifer last time? And she had said about she found like a little birthing hut on her property, and exactly what she explained is the thing that I had found, which is the thing that I got huffed at or growled at. And so we had a little conversation about that. She's like, oh yeah, that's what you found. So I think you have to be, I want to be respectful of that because I want them to be respectful. If they live next to me, they live around me, I want them to be respectful of me too. So anything I can do, but
when you get that huff, you're like, okay, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've heard that before, and it's like you don't even want to go look for it. You're just like, okay, that was a warning huff. Let's roll. So it's you feel it, you understand it, and it's like nothing questions it. And the weird thing is, everything will fall completely silent. No, I mean I'm talking the insects, birds. It'll be eerily dead silent when it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
And we also, been told too with certain people with large, let's say, alleged populations of these Bigfoots or clans, families, that there's also a very large decrease of population of wildlife that's not present. So I think Val has hit that home a few times with some of his people he's brought on his show and some of the people we talked about too. LBL was a good example, Land Between the Lakes, about the certain parts of the park. There's no deer, rabbits, squirrels, and so forth. But people still go down there and, to get that experience. And it's just, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, it's, I said this on one show, we try to take math in science to put labels and try to understand things. It's not meant to be understood. So, I mean, you all can take it as it is, to think of how you want it to be your way and believe in how you want it to be. That's fine. The only thing we're trying to do is just open up the possibilities to other realms, because now, since we brought that up, when you go back and look at other people's pictures, you're going to be like, that doesn't look like a Bigfoot. That looks like something else. So it is what it is, Thomas. Yeah, I agree with you.
But the thing with that, though, Grizzly, is that, and this really opened my mind up, I guess, as far as when I am looking at people's pictures, is that cloaking Bigfoot looked completely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it went through like a range of, like, at one point, it literally looked like an alien or something,
Yeah.
And so that kind of threw me for a loop. Like, oh wow.
Yeah, I saw a gray or alien at one point in time. That was something I noticed as well.
But then it's like the hair sprouted. It goes back down. You can almost see the hair like sprout. Like what? So that's just, or like I think it was Angel Light was talking about earlier back in the chat. She was talking about like the predator effect, with the cloaking, where people say that they glimmer, like the movie Predator, that they glimmer instead of, it's not so much like a cloaking. It's just something that energy that they're putting, I guess,
basically blends right into the background. I mean, we've seen pictures like that where you can see like a silhouette of something, but it looks clear.
Right. Yes.
Something's there.
Or like it's just a little different than what's going on, than the background of the picture, but it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like that cloaking video, when they cloaked and it was moving, you could see this image moving through. It was weird. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that correlates to the shadow. Does that cast a shadow or not? Like the shadow people, and what was it, Expedition Bigfoot, where they're shining a light and they catch a shadow on the wall, but there was nothing there. I mean, I wonder if that's something that's cloaked in it. If even though it's cloaked, you don't see it. Maybe it's a camouflage, but maybe it still blocks light. Going, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because that really did flip them out.
Is it translucent, or is it actually a camouflage that you see is presented to you? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Almost like what an octopus or squid does.
Mm-hmm.
Blends into the background, but it's still there. It'll block light. If you try to shine a flashlight into it, it's going to cast shadow.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's just something I thought about.
Definitely. Yeah. Wow, that's... Yeah, Angel Light has a lot of information for us. Yeah.
There you go. He gave us a book.
Wow, yeah.
Bears have a sense of smell 7 times better than a bloodhound, 2,100 times better than humans. People's regular track hunt and kills these. You're given far too much credit to these animals, wherever you call or like to call them. Everything has limits. They're not mystical creatures. They are invincible. You can track and kill any animal that are upwind that can't smell you coming. You can give them pause and consider that, no, we said you can kill them. We know that for a fact, Angel. We can kill them. You can kill them.
You can surprise them too. You can surprise them too, just like you're talking about. If you're upwind, a matter of fact, Mike went out to Mike Aguilar went out to one of our areas last week, and it was kind of windy. It was about to storm. We had our Florida afternoon thunderstorms to come rolling in, and it was super windy. And he comes sneaking in the back, and he thinks he walked up on a bunch of them because he heard steps, he heard things going all different directions, hoots going off left and right. And because they probably didn't hear him coming in. Yeah. Because it was just that noisy in the winds. So if you want to try to find one, find a windy day and stay downwind or upwind and whatever, which way you want to look at it. But yeah, that's he's got a valid point there. They're not invincible. They are animals to a degree. They're half human and half something we don't know for as far as Bigfoot wise. But what's the other part that we don't understand? Right. That's the big question mark, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We don't know. And the Sasquatch Genome Project has pretty much have proven, but we just don't know what that other unknown part is.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know.
It's unknown in the genome data bank.
Yeah. But Chris and I were talking about or messaging about the some of the videos of mine that he enhanced, and it is incredible, right, Chris? Like what I did not hear on the original video, and then what the enhancement picks up. And
yeah, you were like, oh, one of those is they really don't have that much, and I went and I was like, actually, you might want to listen to this because it's a lot more on there than you think. Yeah. And then sure enough, I put all 3 of those onto one. Was it working for you that second time I sent to you? Okay.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
I put a tone in between each one so you could tell where I broke it up. So there should be 2 tones. Yeah. I don't know if you want to play that or not.
I can. I don't know how to. I can't forward it though. Can you?
Where's that in the group chat?
Yeah, I believe I sent it in the group chat. Might have to dig it up though. Hold on.
Did you? I don't know. Did you send it to everybody?
I thought I did. Yeah, because you had said that I sent it to you privately as well, but it wasn't working. Sent 3 times. Yeah, here it is, separated. Actually, let me see if I can just forward it to the group again. Okay. Make that easier. So it's right at the bottom. There you go, Grizzly. It should be showing up at the most recent thing on the group chat if you want to do it.
Okay.
It's easier for your audio to work for whatever reason.
And this is 3, right, Chris? This is
3. That one's it's 2 minutes, 1 second long, and it should be 3 of them. So you'll hear a tone in between each audio clip, separating the audio clips.
Let's see here.
Hi, Sean.
Dogman hair has come back as unknown
Yes.
canine. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Canine and I wonder if it's female canine and male unknown. Has anybody ever actually gotten nuclear DNA from a canine
I think that.
or from a dogman? There it is. 'Cause that first one was short. Whistlings. There's some frogs in this one. You gotta kind of. Playing with something?
Whatever it is, sounds like they're talking.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some
Yes,
huffing,
it does.
but there's also some parts where there actually sounds like there's banging and some almost like they're playing with something.
Yes.
I mean,
That was-
it
yep.
really you can hear the clanking and the I don't know if they're picking stuff up and setting stuff down or I don't know, like it sounds like a stick smacking on things in
This
some
is the
points.
one, yep, that I said that it sounded. I know I told you guys that that when I was listening to it that night, and then I said, I told my husband, I said, you know what they're doing is, I believe that they are mimicking you and Noah, my daughter's fiance, when they were putting up drywall in the garage, because they were, and with he's like an impact driver that does like a zzz, and then like the banging and and I think that's what they were doing, because that we captured on the driveway camera. So there's a carport above that. Yeah, I love that too. There's a carport above that, and I think that they can easily crawl up on that carport. And I think that that's what they were doing. They were banging around up there, because there's a plethora of sticks and and logs and whatever available.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were doing. It
Yeah,
sounded.
there's the 7 dwarves down there building something.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Right. But what about the whistle? Like
the whistle, and there's grunts too. There's still some of that what Grizzly kind of played that one time, the silverback grunts, real similar to those little sounds in there.
Yeah,
not as much as that one, but yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's so bizarre.
Facebook user, that's a Bigfoot, because I would hear that every night when I lived in Corbin,
Thank
Kentucky, next to Daniel Boone National Forest.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm trying to think who that is right now. So
I don't know.
But yeah,
do all the Facebook users? Oh no, some of the Facebook users have names, so it must come in as anonymous or something.
Well,
it's all those platforms we're broadcasting into,
right?
But it is so, and a lot of people that know these sounds know what they are because they've been around it. But they're not going to come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that sound 10 years ago. Last spring, I was on the porch, drinking sweet tea, and and it doesn't happen. And sometimes we get lucky, and people do like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what that is." Or is that what that is? I had no idea. So we get a lot of that too, right? So, and that one night when we were playing her audio, I was like, I know exactly what that is. Because I was listening to because I was, remember the silverbacks? And I was like, hold on. And I went and pulled up the audio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh,
I thought it was Gary. I knew it. Yes, Can't Lejeune.
Yep.
Hello, Gary.
Yep. Thanks, Gary.
I thought it was you. So, yeah.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Yeah, so
but I mean, it's just, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear that stuff in real life, that does not leave you. It sticks with you.
I mean, there's some nights, that I just kind of, there's some nights I just have to stop listening because it's so scary. The one that was a couple weeks ago, that one that sounded like the lion, Chris, the one, and I think we played that last week. Mm-hmm. It was so scary. Then they threw something at the camera and the camera shut off. And I was like, okay, I'm not going back to that camera because I was just laying there like terrified. Like
exactly what I would do. Just
Grizzly walking outside.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
No.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Say, like if I put it on my Facebook page and people will message me like, well, why didn't you run out and shine a flashlight at it and see? Well, that's not what you feel like doing when you're hearing this. And again, it's not every single night. You guys know it's not. I mean, there's.
I think I'd be like Grizzly, not sleeping at night at all. I'd be wide awake every night, staring at my damn security cameras, like, what the hell's going on now?
Right.
Man, I'd be hanging my clothes out like I was going deer hunting, like I did 20 years ago for 3 days. I'd have that deer scent lock stuff.
Yeah.
I'd have deer cocaine. I'd have floodlights.
I was about to say that.
I'd have floodlights hidden in bushes everywhere. To where, I mean, let me tell you something. When I had that house down there in Jefferson County, yes, we had 3/4 of an acre, and we had chihuahuas. I still do. Oh. My daughter's got them, and so we had 37 trees, and I hated the fall. I hated the fall so bad with the passion, and I could never tell where they were at in the yard. So I was like, Home Depot, here I come. So I went out and got floodlights, and I put them all around the house. And I got them set up to matter wherever they're at in their yard, our yard, it would pick them up by motion. So in one part of the yard, the floodlight would come on. So, or I could hit a master switch, and they all were just like, pow, wow, like a baseball stadium. And I love doing that, right? That's what I'd be doing. I'd be like G.I. Joe or something like that. I'd be face paint and black and green mark camo and
the motion camera. Are you talking about, what were you doing that for? Not for Bigfoot. What was that for? Was it for Bigfoot? No.
He's saying what he would be doing for sure.
No, that was for my chihuahuas.
So you can see where they were. Because they just disappear right into the leaves.
Yeah. Well, because the yard, I had 3/4 of an acre, and it was all fenced in. And when you let them out, I didn't know where they were at in the backyard. So, and the motion light would tell me what part of the yard they were in.
I see. Right.
So, yes.
Hey, Catherine, she just joined us. But you know what? It's funny that's another thing though that people will say, oh, you should put out, motion lights and the one guy said, oh, you need to get one of those like a better recorder. Well, we know what happens with that, Grizzly, like what they do with the great recorders. And then if you put motion lights out, they won't. That's a good way to keep them away. If you want to keep them away, put motion lights out, put floodlights out. Then, it's a good protection if you don't want them around.
It's a good point, Angel Light. Angel Light says what you might be hearing as a language may be similar to the tribe in Peru known as a Quechua people. I don't know if I said that right, but they speak in a language of chirps and whistles that sound like birds. This is sometimes referred to as whistling or chirping language, and cannot remember the exact name of the anthropologist used. I know what you're talking about. I took anthropology in college, and that's all they communicate pretty much is just whistling, tongue clicks, chirping, all that fun stuff. So it's actually part of the language as evolution happens as it does apparently. But that might be just a little looks back and forth and little whistles here and there just to kind of, hey, look at this. And but we've also heard a whole lot of talking of it across yours as well, with a lot of grunting and almost words. I mean, that one that sounded like it was counting almost, like 1, 2, 3. It was weird. I was like, that thing is actually counting or what? What the hell's going on here? Yeah, I don't know, but
a mama or a dad, like, okay, kids, I'm gonna count to 3. 3.
I get to 3. You better be over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're trying to be quiet because they know you're recording, probably to a point.
Asked, what was that? Them doing those cricket sounds? I don't know, because isn't it weird? I've had that time and time again that it will be the cricket or the frog noises, and good night, and they and then everything stops when you hear.
Pretty sure that was a frog in that case, because I can see the spectrogram when I'm doing it, and it's it was very consistent. The pitches were exactly the same all the way across the board. Usually, if there's some weird variations, then you might have something like that. It's like sometimes our hoot owls will show up really off. I'll get some that are like normal, and I'll get something that's really different. Yeah. No, that one, I think the ribbits were actually real ribbits.
Tree frog.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay. So would they? I guess they would, if there was gonna be, if they were gonna like, maybe if some, I don't know, Sasquatch were starting to talk or whatever, maybe they do shut up. I guess they don't want them to know where they're at. The tree frogs don't want them to know where they're at. That could be a tasty little snack, probably.
If they like that thing, who knows? But yeah, the only reason why I left those on there, because there is some grunting in the middle of those frogs at the beginning, if you can kind of hear through it.
Yes. Yeah. But thank you so much. That's just amazing. It's
amazing how much difference it is when I go back and I listen to it side by side, and it's like, the funny thing is the spectrogram will show it, even with all the white noise and the noise in the background. You can see where the noises are.
Wow.
But then once I clean it up, then you can actually hear those noises. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad you're able to capture some of that audio there. It really does impress me a lot, because I don't see how you don't have something going on out there. You know what I mean? People, we had Grizzly running outside shooting everything. I don't know if I'd be burning that house down or moving. I definitely wouldn't be sleeping that night. I know that much.
I would be that. I was going to say monkey. That no pun intended. I'd be that fool going by Sam's, buying those big jars of peanut butter and getting those big hunks of it, and baking it and getting it closer and closer to the house. Now Jabal go, gotcha, and see what the hell and what happened. I'll probably get damn near get my head ripped off or something.
Yeah, Barb, what you could do is do some kind of little gift on a tree and take some tape backwards, and you tape it around the tree where the sticky part's on the outside, like some duct tape, and get them to reach up on something and see if you can catch some hair just for fun.
Yeah.
Then you can send it to me and I'll look at it in the microscope.
Okay. Yeah, I might.
Make sure to sniff it. Make sure to sniff it.
I'm not sniffing it. She can sniff it. She gonna do that, but.
What I tell you, I got bets that Mike Scott sniffed that damn tomato. I'm telling you, I could see him going.
I hope he comes back.
When's he supposed to be coming back? I miss Mike. Is he coming back next week?
Oh man!
Hope he didn't run away with his Sasquatch.
I know. Maybe they got back together again. You think him? What was her name? He had a name for her.
I don't know. I don't know if they had.
I wonder if they got back together.
Yeah.
Did you have a baby? Is that why?
Oh, Mike's gonna hate us.
And what was bad though is his damn sister was the one encouraging him. They wanted a psychology degree.
She's great.
And I was like, "You're the one to do what? You're the one who's telling her to do that?" She said, "Yeah, it was my idea." I was like, "Well, damn."
Broke her damn heart, poor thing. Cheating.
I know.
Poor little Sasquatch
Because
lady.
when Mike was telling that story, I was like, this don't sound right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, Mike, are you in love? Mike's like, huh? I'm like,
I know.
Mike.
He was like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, like, he was like getting all depressed.
Yeah, poor Mike.
I know. Everybody in the chat was like, and, we're like, I'm sitting there watching the chat, and Mike's like, yeah, she didn't come back. I don't know what happened. And I'm like, what in the hell, Mike? Poor guy. He's going to hate me.
He was turning all red.
Yes, he was. He was like, I would talk to you. It's okay, baby. Try a little harder. You can do it. I got faith in you, baby. You can just try more.
This is
You know, his buddy's like, I can't believe this crap. I got to record it. And he get his phone and they just quit. And Mike had no idea why she ran off.
Yep.
And then Mike got mad. Yeah, Mike got mad. You did what? No wonder she ran off.
Mhm.
And like, how the hell would she know that he was trying to record it? Because he said that nobody in the right mind was going to believe the conversation that Mike was having with the juvenile Sasquatch was a female, and he wanted to have it on audio to prove it to people.
Yeah, yeah. And see how smart it was. Like, nope, you're not getting me on.
As soon as he record, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as his buddy hit record in that tent that was flipping out, she just like, it was over. I'm
Gone.
How
out.
do they? Yeah.
Yes.
How do they know?
All right,
so
Angel,
smart.
let's see what you got. All right,
Okay.
Chris, before you were mentioning that you walked into tribes or troops or possibly the single juvenile teenage, basically 13, 17 maturity. Let me read this for the audio people. I'm sorry. All right, Chris, before you were mentioning that you walked in tribes or troops, so possibly a single juvenile or teenager or young males are walking along looking for a new troop, they may be ostracized from the main group, which this may lead back to theory in human evolution that anthropologists that young males would leave their tribe between 13 and 17 when they reach sexual maturity, as they are a primary way to stop inbreeding. It is believed that this was done with humans. Now, Angel, let me shed some light from what we have been told by Cherokee and other tribes and other people that have these creatures or Bigfoot on their property. Number one, they have rules to their clan. That means if you don't follow their rules, you get, what do you call it? Excommunicated.
Ostracized.
They ban you.
You're out.
Yes. They ban
like
you from their tribe.
Yep.
And these are the ones that are renegades. These are the ones that will rip your face off and suck you dry. These are the worst. These are the monsters everybody tells you that you fear.
That you don't want to trust, right?
Yes. Those are the ones I'm scared of. Now, we have been informed by indigenous people, Cherokees and other indigenous tribes and other people that have these clans, that the female does two things. When she is ready to become, I ain't gonna say because I already got bit in the rear on this one, reading that online, what happens when they get into that stage of that cycle. But when they're ready to have babies, we'll put it this way. Two things happen. Either they leave the tribe and go find a mate, and either they bring the mate back to the tribe, or they don't come back and they stay with the other tribe. So that's what we found out allegedly this far. And this has been consistent across the board with everybody that we have been speaking to and has had, I don't want to say relations because that sounds awful.
But no. Yeah. And similar to what the ones in British Columbia that the guys up there that say that they meet at different spots in the United States and in Canada, and they all kind of like maybe a big reunion, I don't know, of geographically, but they will meet up with, they'll pair up males and females of breeding ages.
Yes.
So they can continue, their clans without without any issues with the interbreeding, like is found in, like you're saying, is found in some parts of the South and where, whatever, United States,
If
wherever
one
else.
clan wants to give up a daughter, they can ask for, give me three goats and a pig for a trade, or
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of
What's funny?
Intermixing too a little bit. You imagine just like any kind of natural situation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
I mean,
what
that makes sense a lot. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying what he's saying about the indigenous people, where the male goes off and grabs somebody. I mean, that makes total sense. Total sense. But go ahead, Barb.
But it's what I think is curious is that there's been two different schools of thought as far as I know when Janice Carter, when she was on with you and Val Grizzly, she had said that that a male can have he can take as many like wives as he wants. There's no, they're not necessarily monogamous until, one of them dies. Some are, they are, but there's really no rules. But then other people have said, like, I think more in the West, the Western part and Canada, they feel that they're like monogamous for life. And then, but if the spouse or the whatever, the partner would die, then they can take a new, because I'm sure that they, I don't know. I'm equating them to humans. Do they have issues with childbirth? And, I don't know. Who knows? But
well, I don't know who is it, Meldrum or somebody that collects the footprints or the tracks.
Meldrum does.
This is where they think that where the crossbreeding is where they get the deformed toes and the tracks and the missing digits. Right? Yes. Mm-hmm. That's where they think it's a theory or a thesis where it's coming into play. So yeah.
Right.
So,
or you
it
could
makes
have
sense too. You have nomads running around. It also, as Grizz mentioned, the ones that are typically angry, but I think that correlates to a lot of the missing 411s and people going missing. And there's also reports. I remember hearing a story. As a matter of fact, it was in Kentucky somewhere where this family had a house and they've had it for a couple of generations, and the women in the family knew not to go outside because the Bigfoot was attracted to the women. It was like a loner male, and he basically, they scared the shit out of him. I mean, he was aggressive, but when the males of the family are home, it's not as bad. But if the females go outside, but it's to the point where they knew that this existed and there's danger to it. So they're not always friendly, even if they're on your property.
Right.
I mean, there's those situations, and you can have that loner nomads. So those are the ones that are more of a nuisance, and people try to figure out ways of getting rid of them.
Yeah. Or danger. Yeah. Like a very, but then the clans will, we hear where they will sometimes they'll protect people, because that's the other thing. If they're grunting or throwing infrasound or whatever at you, it may be to protect you. We've heard that several times. Because they're want you to get out of an area that could be dangerous for you. Irene is here. That's good. Hi, Irene. Because we had looked up the what was it? Was it? The pronunciation. Ticket to K. There it is. That spirit that we were talking about on the other show.
Yeah, because she's got the suicide woods.
Yeah.
Where everybody goes to commit suicide. I can't remember the name of the woods, Irene.
Is that in Japan? Yes, it is in Japan. Is that in Japan?
Yeah, it's I think it's in Japan, didn't Irene?
Yeah, ticket to
K. You can keep the ticket over there. Whatever you say that.
So it's a Japanese urban legend. Well, you know how legends are, about a ghost of a schoolgirl who is said to have fallen onto a railway line where, this is terrible, where her body was cut in half by a train. She is an onryo, or a vengeful spirit, who lurks in urban areas and around train stations at night. Since she no longer has the lower part of her body, she travels on her hands, dragging her upper torso and making a scratching or tick-a-tick like sound, produced either by her elbows or the end of her bisected body scraping at the ground. If she encounters them, if she encounters an individual, she will chase them and slice them in half at the torso, killing them in such a way that mimics her own disfigurement. So that's terrible. Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
That's terrifying and
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
There's the name of the forest. I cannot pronounce it.
Yeah.
So where they find pictures and suicide notes, tents, clothing, and
Yep.
so
I'm not going there.
Terrible.
And there's a suicide waterfall too, she says.
Yeah.
I thought all that was in the same place. Maybe I'm wrong. So
it reminds me too much of the
Sam,
rain.
Sam, that's a real place. They actually have documentaries on that. And there's actually a movie out, Irene. What's the name of the movie? It was on Netflix last year about that forest where that girl. Is that what it was called? Where she goes to find her fiance or somebody that went hiking a different place. Suicide Cliff. Yes, that's it.
Is that what it was called?
Thank you. Yes, okay. Suicide Cliff.
Okay.
So, yes, that was a pretty good intro because it really did a good a pictorial about the forest because it has all these warning signs: don't commit suicide. You know, you're better than this. All this other stuff. So, Angel Eye.
Another book.
We need to get on the show.
Say that, And remote tribe and whatever rainforest, untouched by shoes and regular basis for climbing. Yeah, so I actually read this somewhere. Their feet was real tangled and mangled because the way they try or climb the trees and stuff. So, So thanks for sharing the links and stuff for that so everybody can go look at it.
Yeah.
So, it was very interesting.
And that's
Irene was an American show that was made. It wasn't a Japan or Chinese show. It
was on Netflix.
I think Matthew was in one of them.
I can't. I started to watch it and it seemed too creepy, so I didn't continue to watch it.
I've never seen that show. I couldn't speak on it.
That's interesting, but in a very tragic way. Do people go there, with the intent to commit suicide, or are they drawn there? Do they go there? Oh, I'm gonna just. It's not gonna bother me.
They plan it out. And they take medicine with them. They go out there, they starve themselves, and they do different. We'll just leave it at that. But it's horrible.
But I wonder, are there people that go in, I'm going to go in there and face this thing, and it's not going to take me. It's not going to bother me, and then it, and then it does, and then it.
Is that tied to the whole ticket thing, or is it tied to that?
No,
this is different.
Something totally different.
Yeah, this is different.
It's a forest. Yeah, that where people go. Well, they go to commit suicide, but there's something going on. There's got to be something. I'll look that up and see what we can find out about that next.
She's gonna go do an investigation there. Irene is, but she's gonna do it from the safe part. So. And don't forget, she has abilities too. So when I watched her live show when she did the Hiroshima, was it Hiroshima or Nagasaki, where they dropped the bomb at Irene, where you did your, it freaked me out. I couldn't watch it all. Because she actually went to where the bomb went off, the nuclear bomb, and where one of the buildings were still standing, and she was recounting people's lives. That they didn't know why they were dead in
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, while they're about to see their pain, and it was just awful.
Wow.
I mean, it was So
what's the name of? What is the name of her? Can you put the name of your podcast in the link?
Somebody interviewed her. I don't know who it was. I don't remember who it was, Irene Ralph Hand, but if you can get that link, I'll share it. So,
excuse me.
Paranormal Japan.
yes,
Nope.
that's it. Did
Okay.
she put it on there?
Yep.
I'll
Yes.
check that out.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, Chris, I remember it.
Okay.
Because she sent me the link to it and I watched it.
She put on there NSPS TV also underneath that.
Yeah. So it was very sad. I mean it literally touched me.
Oh yeah.
Because she would describe things and it was just like people didn't know what happened because people were just going about their business and just all of a sudden their body just disintegrated. And they had a real rough time to this day. They just didn't understand what happened.
A lot of lost souls in an instant, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not
And
only that, the aftermath, all the fallout for all those years still. So.
Yep. So many.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very touching. She did a very, very good job on that.
That'd be exhausting.
She says my mom died after the bomb from radiation poisoning. So yeah.
Wow.
Awful. Yeah. Oh
Terrible.
gosh. Terrible time.
Yeah.
Well.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of, I don't know how to. Yeah, that's just. Has anybody seen? It's new out from Small Town Monsters, the Dogman Triangle, Werewolves in the Lone Star State. Have you guys?
I've heard about it. So
yeah,
gotta
check it out. It's great. I watched it today on Tubi, and it was great.
I've never seen a Dogman. I've seen a lot of. I don't want to say apparitions, but they're not like what we see across my shoulders, right? They're Abe calls them DDNs. I don't know what they stand for when he calls them DDNs.
Demonic disembodied Nephilim.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So because he encountered them when he was in Iraq, when he was getting ready to do a firefight, he saw them going from soldier to soldier. And it freaked him out, and that's when he became very spiritual and stuff. And he's the one that goes out in the woods, and he can pick up the what do you call it? The demonic presence, and he can take photographs. He can't see them, but he knows they're there, and he's the one that captures the images and be like, "Look right here, look here." And sometimes you don't even have to circle them. You can plainly see them, just like some of the elementals that we think that you captured. So now, I don't know. That's one thing I don't ever want to cross as a dog man.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you anyway. I'll pass.
Yep.
So I've seen movies on Monsters Quest and other big shows, people and their encounters and stuff that's encountered Dogman. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No.
You don't just get that image of a fun dog walking up to you with its wagtail, do you? It just that doesn't come to mind. It's usually something demonic,
No.
They were exploring different possibilities. Is it one of the things that was curious is that we know that there's tons of historical evidence from Europe, right, of werewolves and people, humans with dog heads, or like a dog in clothes. I mean, that's in their art, in that like the wood blocking that they. A lot of these accounts are from Germany and from France. And they were saying that there a correlation between if you have a population in an area in the United States somewhere, and it's a high concentration of German and French, let's say, immigrants, is this something that has been almost like manifested like a tulpa, like a thought form? Or is this something that would be more like a werewolf, where they would a person has the ability to conjure this up with their own, making it like a deal with the devil, so to speak, or whatever. They were exploring a little bit of that too, which is interesting. I don't know.
So there's a few different spins on this from what I gathered. So we look at it from the biblical realm.
Mhm.
A lot of people think it's demonic. It's released from the gates of hell, right?
What was that? Oh my gosh! And the wow!
I have no idea what that was.
Why is the hair in the back of my neck standing up?
And the gates of HE double toothpicks, and it's like.
But whatever that was shook my whole desk, ladies and gentlemen.
What's on your? Oh no!
We mean just, what? What?
I was
what?
Like, what's to the left of you? I'm
Who's
sorry.
standing behind you?
No, you're right. It's your right. It's to the. You're right.
We mean on what's to my right?
It's not like a scary thing. It's like just what's on your screen. Yeah.
My iPad. My iPad.
Okay.
That's my iPad to monitor the show.
It looked like. Not now, but it looked like there were pictures of dolls on it. I swear to
Don't say
God.
that. No,
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry. Because I was like, wait, do you have like pictures of dolls on there? Like, I'm sorry. Maybe it was just.
Well, it'll be recorded. We can always go back and look.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was like, wait, what's that? What's that? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm so. Yeah,
Grizzly's got suicide dolls, is what he's got. Yeah. They're probably jumping off the cliff again.
That shook the whole studio desk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was loud, whatever it was.
Then, gates of.
Man, the hair on the back of my neck stood up on that. I don't know. There was something weird there.
What was I saying?
Talking about the gates of hell.
Yeah, that's what you meant when you.
Is that what I said?
Pretty much.
It was like. I don't know, not that, but just
no, like
big,
that night.
Crash. Like, what was it too? And everything shook. Like your whole Karen.
Get the holy water out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I'm like freaking out. I'm like really stroking right now. Oh. When I said hell, did it actually do it at the same time?
Yeah.
You said hell, and it was immediately. I mean,
wow.
Right after.
Yeah.
Wow.
What were we talking about? I don't know. Wow.
I don't know. I lost that one now.
I don't remember.
Talking about Dogman and why are you laughing, Irene?
Is it something that was released? Yeah, biblically speaking.
Yes.
So biblically speaking, I ain't saying that word again.
No.
I have no idea what that was. I really don't. What? Did you just say something, Barb?
No.
Did you hear that, Chris?
I don't know.
Did you just hear a voice?
What is it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, come on. No,
I don't know if it was me. What was it?
No, I didn't hear it.
I heard a voice. All right, 151.10. 151.10. Mark that down, Chris. We got to check that. Make sure it wasn't Barb saying something. So biblical realm, what I just said, and the rake, where a lot of people think the rake has been on scene for the past 15 or 20 years, that people can manifest their worst fears. And right. So, but we found out the rake has been around for a lot longer than that. They just did not know what it was called. So did you see the dolls? I'm not trying to look at the dolls right now. I tried to look at the dolls, but I'm afraid to look at the dolls because the whole, ladies and gentlemen, my computer shook, and so did the whole entire, my studio desk is not small, ladies and gentlemen. It is a big L shape, 1, 2, 3 tiers. And it is, yes. Anyways. And I don't even know what the hell I'm saying now. But yeah.
Oh my God.
The original Reikis, I guess it's been dated back longer than that. I don't know. What's the earliest that it's been recorded?
I can't remember now. My mind just went blank. It's just right out the window. I'm sorry.
I think like rakes, are they relatively new?
Well, that's what I thought until I went back and looked at the folklore and legend. So because we thought, looking at demonology, that the rake's only been on the scene for the past 20 years or less, and that people were manifesting their fears in their nightmares, and everybody was doing that and creating these creatures out of fear. And that wasn't the case, because it actually went back further. So whatever term that whoever said was using a minute ago.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
Topa.
I don't know. I think it's BS, but it's just a thing that theory.
I look back on Dogman.
Dogman, a lot of people think that it has been mislabeled as being, it should have been either a werewolf or a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And people are in the past 18 years forward. Well, actually, LBL, I think, when somebody, and don't quote me, is when Dogman actually officially got coined, is because they said the creature looked like a dog. If we go back and do our research on that, I think, and don't quote me, I think that's where the term was coined from, and I think it's where it stuck.
Well, actually, I pulled up my little friend researcher here, and it says the concept of the Dogman is known as the Michigan Dogman, and primarily rooted in modern folklore and urban legends, described as a cryptid creature resembling werewolf. Blah blah blah. It says the legend of the Dogman originated in Michigan, United States, in 1887.
Okay. I was going
to say that's a lot longer than I thought. I didn't.
Yeah, I thought that somebody had told me that it was from the 1880s.
And there's a publication of a newspaper article titled "Strange Case of a Wild Dog Man." The article describes sighting of an unidentified creature in Wexford County, Michigan, and it was said to have a man-like body with the head of a dog or wolf. However, it's important to note that this account was likely work of fiction. Of course, this is AI talking, so it's going to say that.
Yeah.
But
now, Rebecca, Stalin was trying to do the super soldiers with women and apes. That's what he was trying to crossbreed when he was in power in the Soviet Union.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. The angel says the difference between a dog man and a werewolf is a dog man can't switch. That is, only a werewolf could switch back and forth in a human form. In an animal form, that a legend someone can change, but it's mostly the Greeks, as for my previous comments. So I have to repeat myself. The seminaries of the skinwalker. And see, this is where it gets kind of confusing. But now they say, from what I hear, the dogman and a werewolf, when they stand, the werewolf will sound like the bones are breaking when it stands up. That's where you hear the snap, crackle, pop. And that's from all the dogman West Coast people and the founders and
directors,
Shane Michael Crisp and all them, right? So
yeah.
I never heard that. I always wondered if it was just one and the same, but I do feel that the skinwalker / dogman can be a crossover there a little bit. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, excuse me. Are you a skinwalker? Are you a werewolf or a dogman? Is that an A, B, or C, please?
Yeah. You like
but a skinwalker, they take that form like in a ceremony, right, where they are wearing the skins of an animal. So they supposedly take that form?
Well, I think they're supposed
to be a shapeshifter.
Yeah, I thought they had to kill a family member or somebody or something like that along the lines. Yeah, Angel, what's the consensus on that, Angel?
Wait, I had, you know what? Because I had done research.
He says I'm confusing that with the Wendigo. Different legends.
You know, it's fun. Yeah, I actually had notes written down, but I don't think I kept them because I was like, I was watching something on that. I was watching a documentary on that, and it was like, this is getting
All right, so our research here came out. Skinwalker is a concept of Native American folklore, particularly associated with the Navajo people in the southwestern United States. According to legend, Skinwalker is a witch or sorcerer who possesses the ability to transform into different animal forms. The term Skinwalker comes from the belief that these individuals can wear the skins or pelts of animals to facilitate their transformations. So maybe they wear those. I don't know.
Oh, I know. You
One
know what?
thing, you don't mention around Indians.
No, and you know
Boy,
what?
I caught hell for doing that on some shows.
Yeah. I have a video. It was like and it's on my Facebook page, and it's of I believe it was a Navajo, and it was a younger guy, and he was being interviewed by another guy, and yeah, he was explaining how it works, that they used to, maybe this is what she's saying. Let's see, Grizzly, I can't type this fast, but I'm trying to stay up with the conversation. So there's going to be typos, but try to keep up like this. The skinwalker can also take any form. It depends on what animal or the pelt that the shaman puts on. And legend says that they have to kill a family member. Some say it's become, so it's someone who very close, and I'm not from the Navajo Nation, but I know the legend very well, and it shifts depending on who tells the story slightly. So this guy that was from, the Navajo Nation, he had said that you don't necessarily have to like physically kill the person, that your family member. You can just say it's almost like you offer up that family member, to be killed, and which is terrible. I mean, any way around, but so yeah, but
no, I was saying here, Skinwalker said the ability to assume the shape of various animals, as we know, such as coyotes, wolves, owls, and crows.
Yeah. So,
and I noticed this part of the intentions of Skinwalkers are generally regarded as malicious, which is why Dogman, if there was one to present, as I think even Skinwalker Ranch, they talked about ones that look something like Dogman, but I believe it could be maybe one the same, maybe not. Maybe just took on that form.
It could be, a form of shape shifting. Irene said as a sacrifice. That's it exactly. There has to be a sacrifice by this person that wants to assume this shape. He said this young Navajo guy said that they would do this a lot of times within their, just within their community, to help them with gathering food and with hunting, if they're fighting with other tribes or, warring with other tribes, and it would help them. But what happened was, he said that people became certain, kind of like evil members of their own community. They started to use it against each other, and they would, whether it was stealing or whatever, SA word we can't say, because of YouTube, that they could commit acts like that and not be pinned on them. So then this is when the Navajo Nation, he said we're not this. No one is allowed to do this. This can no longer be practiced. But these, this small faction still
just whispering their name is like a major no-no. I mean, they will. Yeah. I mean, you're right, Grizzly. If you don't ever say that word around them.
I found out the hard
some
way.
of them, some of them will freak out. I watched a documentary, and one guy said he was kind of in a town of Navajos, and he said the word in a restaurant, and the whole restaurant just stopped and looked at him like, "What did you just say?" Like the double hockey sticks, and made that look that Grizzly had a minute ago when his table went crazy.
And that's
I still don't know what that was. I mean, I don't see anything out of place. I really don't. So,
but Angel Aid, I just want to, that's it. I may not be, I'm just telling you, I'm just going by what I saw on the documentary, and I'd taken notes, and I was going to talk about it, but I was like, this is this is out of I have no authority. I have no authority to talk about this, right? I'm not Native American, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. So that's why I didn't want to bring it up. But so
I just talk about what we hear. Nobody here is.
No, but you know what I'm saying? I was going to talk about it on a show. I was thinking, I'm going to really, but it's, I don't want it.
Hey, we're not experts. And we don't claim to be experts, and I
Yeah.
don't think there is anybody in this world that can be an expert on any of this. I don't care who
Well,
you are.
you can't talk to the Indians about it because I tried,
Yep.
and that's a
Yeah,
big no-no.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I
So-
think it depends on. I think it depends on the tribe. Irene said, interesting because my friend lives on an Indian territory and she is part Cherokee and has a shape-shifting creature on her property. Yeah. So.
Oh, no. No.
We're not going to Irene's.
No, it's her friend.
Oh, okay. We're not going there either.
I'm not going there either. Sorry.
We probably
no tickets and skinwalkers.
I think that the Native Americans and the First Nations and what they will sometimes they'll call themselves Indians. They are just so used to the spiritual aspect. I don't know why. Would you? I like as Caucasians, I don't even know what to say. Like, why are we?
They are in touch with all this way before us.
Yes.
And they've always been one with it, and they pass this down for generations and generations, and their stories don't change. They tell the story so much that it's ingrained in all of them. And I don't know. I mean, they even talk about trading with the Sasquatch.
Yes.
I mean, there's a newspaper article in the late 1800s that have 3 different tribes, which normally most tribes don't talk too much to each other, a little bit, but they kind of keep themselves. We all know that, right? 3 different ones come together to tell us smart white men that Sasquatch exists. This is up in your area, Barb. I think Washington or Oregon. And not to you gotta give them respect, give them their area and space. Don't kill them. If you kill one of theirs, they're gonna kill 3 of yours. And we've been training with them for years. So this stuff's been going on for a long time. They've known about all this stuff.
Yeah.
We are not, just like they don't want to tell us. They don't want to talk about it because I don't know if it's just over our head or we just won't understand it. I don't know. I mean, it's very possible we can't. I don't know. They definitely know some things about the past with all these cryptids than we do on the portals and all that stuff. So I mean, you kind of got to give them the respect a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Irene says I can talk about it. Well.
Oh, okay.
We talked about the spirits in her house and the shaman spirit and life of the house.
I think I'm about done talking about spirits for the night. Between the ball being ripped out of my hands and the death
to your dolls.
So, Grizzly, somebody said, which is true, do you think that you should investigate that? Where they say while you're here on camera, just check out to see what it is, and we'll just wait because we want to know.
I did. I looked around. I don't see anything. Okay. I don't see nothing. That's what I'm saying. I don't see anything
You checked under your desk too, and
I'm using my feet to feel. And yes, I did look down.
Wow.
So yes, and I looked all around, and nothing up here. Everything's fine.
Wow.
All my signs, the dolls. I mean, everything. I mean, nothing is out of whack. It's like it's like everything just like shook and like banged.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's that creepy doll you got, I'm telling you.
And I want people to look like what we marked the time right after that. Was it 7? Yeah, we have to look back and I feel like I saw a flash on your, I guess is it an iPad? Is that what's next to you?
Yeah, on my iPad, bro. My monitor the shows.
Yeah, but it was really. I'm like, why do you have why is the dolls on there? But then it was gone. I'm like, no, wait, no, that's just us. Like the 3 of us.
Yeah, Rebecca, all the dolls are from here all the way over to the wall. And they're like stacked. I got the big ones in the back and the little ones all up front. So
I was talking to him the other night on FaceTime, and one of them jumped off the shelf and like dived right at Grizzly.
Oh
I
my
mean, I watched.
Oh,
I saw him. I saw it happen.
Scared me.
I was like, "What the?" I mean, it looked like it had force to it. I mean, it looked like it flew at him.
Yeah,
Like
it scared me bad.
I think some of these older dolls don't like the newer dolls. They're getting a little jealous or something.
So,
I don't know what's going on. You might have a little competition going on up there.
well, we're getting ready to seal them in the faith of Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm getting ready to bind them. So, yes. Grizzly, talk about religion. The dolls don't like it. Evidently don't. And evidently they don't like the HE devil hockey sticks either. So I'm not saying that word again tonight. That's for so. I mean, if y'all could have felt the force, did my camera shake or anything?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was some force.
It was like I thought something had, like fallen over, like something big.
Gosh.
It felt like it felt like I don't know.
Yeah.
I got the heebie-jeebies over here. I mean, I was just like, what the hell was that? I mean, it was loud right in the earpiece. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. I was thinking
something weird happened there.
Somebody said, about the dolls. Yeah, I was fully expecting like the dolls to start like falling down on
you. Catherine, it was no earthquake. No.
Because the dolls would have fell. The dolls would have fell if that was
it would have rained. It would have rained dolls. Then I would have crapped my pants and passed out on the
Grizzly would have been gone. He would have just ran off.
Yeah, I sure would have. So,
show's over, folks. Grizzly's gone.
Ask Cat. Cat, what was the noise? Can you tell me what the noise was? Since she has abilities too, like Irene, what was the noise, Cat? She's like rolling her eyes. She's like, really? Yes, I'm asking you.
Did she see it?
Catherine, that's a good point, though, because I thought maybe, is he having an earthquake? That's what it looked like. Like you were having an earthquake.
It was just the timing that was the crazy part. What he was talking about, the subject matter, is what makes that all really, really weird. Really weird.
Yeah, we heard a loud noise, like something heavy jumped or slammed on the desk. That's what I think too, Rebecca. Yeah.
I thought about 3 of your dolls fell onto the desk or something. That's what it sounded like. Like some of the bigger ones, not the little ones. That's what you get for messing with dolls.
All right, Kat is getting her thing out. She's doing her thing. I can see her getting her thing out and figuring it out. She's calibrating. So let's give her a little bit of music here. That's right. No pressure, Kat.
Yes, Irene, you're right.
Yeah.
There we go. Somebody done took a hold of that wheel, and there we're going into the ditch, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what she said.
Oh, my Lord. Here we go for audio people.
She says size doesn't matter with dolls.
It sounded like a big rumble. It wasn't the earth shake. I know what it was. I know it wasn't the earth. By asking you, Kat, what was it? Do your magic and tell me what it was. Use your abilities.
Wait, what is that? They do not like the word.
I don't know what DY is.
Oh, it was the other words. What was the other words?
The HE double hockey sticks?
Yeah, she said that wasn't the word.
H wasn't the word. It was
the other word. What were we talking about? Oh, I don't know.
Demon something maybe? I don't know.
Oh, ology. Is that what we were talking about?
Oh, yes.
Were we?
Okay, you can say it. You're just texting, so it's different.
Can I say it or no?
None of us can don't say it. Okay. You're gonna make me. Yes, it was biblical. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, what was that?
Hi, Grizzly.
Hey, so was it the term?
I felt it from here.
Well, I did too. I about tinkled myself.
Yeah, we all do.
Exactly. You were talking about the D word and the Yes, I can feel it from here.
You can still feel it?
Not now.
Okay.
But you were talking about the D word.
The DEM?
And then the H word.
Right.
The H word seems to set them off more than the D word.
Okay. All right.
You said the D word and then the gates from. And
Gates
All right.
word. Wow.
I'm not repeating those words.
I'm not repeating them either.
So was it the
Go ahead.
dolls then, or what was?
Was it the dolls, Barb wants to know, that caused it?
No, nothing to do with the DOLL.
Oh.
No.
What do you mean? Ain't nothing to- What caused it? What do you mean,
She don't want to tell you.
It seems like what you guys were talking about, you feels like you were getting too close for comfort.
You talking to things that cover themselves with pelts? Oh, see? We ain't talking about that no more, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
She's shaking her head,
Hang on a
yes.
sec.
Hold on.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
told you she was calibrating.
Mm-hmm.
They were not impressed with the SKI word either.
Yeah, we're on the wrong subject tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. So, yeah, because Irene said the B word and the H
Seemed like
word.
it was 3 strong words in one go. No, they didn't like that.
Whoa.
All right.
So was it what created the noise? Like,
So
you know what I
Barb
mean?
wants
Rumble, I can feel it. Sorry.
Barb wants to know what created the noise.
Hang on.
All right, she's doing her thing. You got to see what she's doing to understand she's doing her method.
Is this the pendulum?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it came from the earth. It wasn't from upstairs.
Has 0820.
The heck was that?
Whoa.
See his
No,
screen
sorry, I
light
don't know
up.
how to turn this off. Hang on. I've got to get a more precise question.
I can't even hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. I'm shaking.
Sam Thomas
Yes,
said
I
this is,
do.
sorry.
Yeah, Obsidian Angel. I haven't got that yet. I was getting ready to order some today. Go ahead, do your thing. Yeah, I'm gonna light some incense, my white candle, and there's a cleansing I do, Angel.
Sprinkle holy water.
I'm gonna do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I don't like
I don't know if I can say this out loud.
What do you mean you can't say this out loud? Look at me.
It had. It's telling me because I don't want to stir up any more action. Hang on. It had something to do with a PORT.
Oh.
Oh hell no, we did not know.
Because we were talking
that's
about
why
that.
I'm not saying it out loud.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
That
But
was.
it doesn't matter, Grizzly. It's closed.
Oh, it is closed?
Yep. It's closed and safe.
Awesome.
It's like they was. Yep, and it's all safe.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
three things you guys were talking about at once. It's kind of all at once.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have put her up on the screen so y'all can see what she's doing because she's having a rough
They
time.
didn't like combining all three in the one kind of.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe those three are highly linked. Yes. Those three will, like it's a massive yes. Check it out.
I see it.
Hang on. I just asked, are those three beings linked? Check it out.
Yeah, I see it. So it's saying yes. Okay.
What did what did Kath say? I'm sorry. That are those three
It's
beings what?
massive. Like massive.
That's a yes.
But what was that? Are those three beings? What was the word that you was said?
I ain't saying the three words we
Okay.
talked about.
No.
It's
I know. Yeah,
Me either.
but
They were all said too close in conjunction.
to yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Linked. Bob?
Yeah.
Linked.
They're linked.
okay.
Yep. And the other word with the shape, etc., all linked.
All right, I won't do that again. I'm
Like
to,
I'm shaking the same as you, Grizzly. Like my heart's racing.
mine is still racing. I need a pair of Depends is what I
Yeah,
need.
same here.
Thank you, Kath. Oh,
Barb says,
Oh,
"Thank you,
goodness.
Kat."
No worries.
She's grabbing her chest right now, holding herself.
oh my gosh.
Thank you, Kat.
Chris says, "Thank you too."
No worries. I've just re-cleansed the area.
I will.
I've cleansed the
Oh,
area.
thank
as
you.
well.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No worries.
All right, bye, hon.
Thank you.
Phew.
Ooh, boy.
Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was very
Alrighty then.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Whew.
Yeah, that was definitely weird.
Sam Thomas made a good point. He said that the moon is, and I don't know, maybe this is nothing, but the moon is closer to the earth than usual. Could this be giving? They use the heck out of the energy stronger pull on everything. It could
be.
Yeah.
It could be. So,
Well, Rebecca said, let's focus on angelic light surrounding Grizzly. Yeah. We don't want to give too much power.
I am going to focus on going tinkle, and I'm going to get my anointment oil out, my incense out,
You need to get some sleep too. You need to prioritize getting some sleep.
I'm going to get me some sleep here once I do my blessings and stuff. Yes.
They work. Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. Okay. I love that name, Sam for a girl. That's so cute. But yeah, that's really important. They really will attack a tired mind.
Yes, they will. Because you're weak.
Kat made a comment. Major energy stuff going on today. Synchronicity. I can't say that word for some reason.
Yeah.
Peaking trust, intuition. Yeah.
So well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The hairs on my arms, my neck, and everything. When that happened, I could feel that energy right through you. There was something going on right then. That was for sure.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully y'all enjoyed this edition.
Woo! Synchronicity.
Yeah, right?
Synchronicity. Yeah, there you go.
So next week, I have no idea what we're going to do next week. I can't even think that far now.
Well, we know what we can't talk about.
Yeah, right? So don't even bring that up in the comments.
No.
It just goes to show that it's real.
Yeah.
So
We're going to make up code names like SW for one of them. And I just said
No,
SW.
you're
That's
not.
all I said.
No, you're not.
I know.
No, you're
Like
not.
looking at our legend. What's that? Well, tomorrow we have Jennifer Appleton is coming back to talk with us about aliens and the paranormal. Great. On our show. You guys is your show tomorrow night after that?
We already had ours. Ours is Monday.
Oh,
tomorrow's
Monday
is the cryptid one.
That one's Justin. Justin.
Yeah, Mr. Decker.
Yeah, Grizzly's twin
yes.
brother.
I just don't have the white.
Yeah, now you don't.
Yeah, at least
Y'all both had the same white streak and everything, and Grizzly threw that out the window.
I was like, wait, what's happening? Is Grizzly just like putting
He looked at me
like
before we went live, and he was like, "Is that real?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's real. Look." Even the saggy bottom boys, you remember when he folded down?
I
In
need to get
constant
a disguise.
sorrow.
Wait, don't leave, guys. Hold on. I got to get a disguise.
Cat says, "Yeah, lots of laugh. Yes, new language, code words."
Hi, I'm not Barb.
Love and light. What is going on?
Hi, I'm Barb.
This is an elemental.
What is going on?
I was like, yeah.
Love and light. Barb's turned into a pixie fairy.
Is he making this
Yeah,
person
pixie
up?
fairy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, Justin, I mean, he looked at me, he's like,
Yeah.
"What'd you do?" And you
Had
know,
an accident.
I one of the persons with abilities when I first got online, and they were like, "You didn't read the directions, did you?" Like,
I don't know if you
I hate when you do that. And she was like, "That's okay. All of us women, we always screw up the first time we dye our hair."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Does that make me feel better?" Because look, it's real. And she's like, "Well, I hope so." So I was, anyways, ladies and gentlemen.
Look like a weird Amish guy, huh?
As long as things don't jump up and down and vibrate and crash and things go flying around the studio and see things like Irene sees or whatever, the TT wee wees. That's just crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, y'all got to go back and watch that show with FTL Paranormal. See that dog get ripped out of my hand. That was wild.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, anyways, but from coast to coast around the world, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Godspeed, and hopefully we'll see you on the next show. Take care. Night, guys, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, man. Bye-bye.